It's so hard to get a good volume. Hello! I missed a good number of these. Let's see if you can gather what's happening from context clues. Good luck! Hello. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I'll try and recap the important information before a twist happens, maybe? We'll try, anyway. Hello, Dark. Hello, Christy. Hello, Kiro and Oobs and Miss. Yes. How are we all? And a Jib. Hooray. Good on your account. I mean, it's difficult enough to keep track of this game as it is, even if you did watch the previous streams. So, yeah. Hello. Welcome to the Noodles. The Noodle Gear Solid. So last time things happened. Let's pop over to the old Noodle here. We're in prison. That's probably a significant thing. Okay, let's hang on. I haven't set anything up because I'm terrible. There's pencil. That's good enough. Where is it? So we're in prison after several things happened with the long rotting corpse of Jeff Headstrong. So yeah. In prison, but we had to talk with a friend, and we're in sexy underwear. That's true. So you don't see the problem. Fair enough, yeah. So I did go back and recap, do a little bit of a brush up on the conversation that we're having on Codec. I will go over it in a second. So just a quick recap of everything that did happen last time. We met some wolves, who were very friendly to some people. Then we found a corridor and a red dot that was annoying. Ooh. That's not how that works. Go away. Cece got shot in the foot. We ran back to find a sniper rifle from the beginning of the game. We came back. Cece was gone. We took out the sniper who was here, who we called BLT, if I remember correctly, which standard for Beach Latit. And Dan gives us laser pointers again. I know. Then we continued on to the communications tower, which is where we were going, but we got snuck up on by the sniper we thought we killed, and also Kevin and Jed, who were also there. And so we got captured and interrogated, and tortured in our underwear. By BLT, from left to right, BLT, Bullet Ant, us, and Wet Noodle / Wormlabag. Looks like Julia Lepti. I mean, I don't want to have to think about drawing Julia in that revealing clothing. But yeah. BLT also scratched us in the face and said that we are now their prey, and she will not stop until we are dead. But we're the protagonists, so we know how that's going to end. So yeah, that happened, and then we got put in a cell. Here we are. M's evil twin brother. Yeah, so now we're in the cell, and we've noticed that there's a corpse here, the corpse of the person we met a few hours ago, only it's now extraordinarily decomposed. So, we have a phone call. Because what else are you supposed to do between torture? So we go to the codec, and we have a chat. We talk to Colonel Korn. There he is. And say, oi, did you know that this whole Metal Gear Rex project, which you seem to know about but didn't tell me anything about, was actually for the purposes of launching a nuclear weapon? He goes, I'm not really at liberty to say, which is a yes. But apparently nobody really knows. Top secret, hush hush, even the president doesn't know. Big secrets. In fact, you're looking for MGS stuff on XCOM, and you can have Big Boss's jumpsuit with the scar. Interesting. Then we have a chat with things. There. Here we are, Varlin. Varlin says, hey, I can sort out your wounds for you. Put your controller on your arm, and then she vibrates the controller and gives you a massage via nano machines. Because she was the one who injected you with nano machines. So yeah, she gives you a massage, and then you say something to take away the pain, distract me, talk about your family or whatever, your history, Deus Ex Nanobots. Yeah, you say sort of, tell me about your family, your parents, and stuff like that. And she says, because obviously this has to be this is a war-based thing. Everybody's parents have to be dead. She says, well, I didn't know my parents. They were dead. I was an orphan. But I did have a big brother. Well, not a biological big brother, but someone who looked after me, showed me the ropes of life, got me up and running, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, other than that, and that's why I got into genetics, because I wanted to try and find out who my parents were and find out who I am by proxy, and all that sort of stuff. And she says, what about you? Have you got any family? And Noodle says, no. Well, there was someone who did say they were my dad, but I'm not entirely sure. And she said, well, who was that? Who's the person who said they were your dad? And he goes, someone called Big Boss, who may or may not be the person who the terrorists want the body of. And she says, well, how like, did you ever get the chance to discuss whether or not he was your dad? And he said, no, not really. I killed him. Back in Zanzibar. A lot of stuff happened in Zanzibar. If you recall, that's also where Noodle killed... What did we call it? King Vader. What's everyone doing in Zanzibar? I don't know. Everyone apart from Noodle died in Zanzibar. And Noodle killed the rest of them. But yes, he also says that King Vader was somebody he also used to know. Somebody he looked up to, somebody who looked after him. And who they met in a prison or something like that, but they ended up being on different sides of a fight, and that's when they killed each other. I believe in a hand-to-hand fight in a minefield. I believe is the expression. Also died in Zanzibar, yes, but we know that they did die in Zanzibar, but then they got dragged back and resurrected, and now they're a weird mental ninja. There's a third game in the series. Yes, it's difficult. You love this conversation. One of my favourite things, like I said, I did a quick little recap, and one of my favourite things is when Noodle says, yeah, I killed my father, Varlan goes, that's patricide. And his response is, yep. Y-U-P, yep. I also had someone else up to. I also killed him in Zanzibar. So yeah, there's a lot of talk about who killed who and so on and so forth. But yeah, that happens. I think then you go back for another little round of torture. Pretty much the same as last time. Last time you did elect to survive the torture and not give in to the demands, which is nice. Which requires a lot of button mashing, but it is possible. Resist, indeed, yes. So yeah, I think that's the gist of what happens here. This isn't actually the codec conversation I needed to look up because it was somewhat important. I mean, it's important to know that Noodle killed his dad, or someone who claimed to be his dad anyway. But yeah, a lot happened in Zanzibar. That's basically the gist of what you should take away from here, and we return to our cell. Here we are. So with that in mind, Noodle the dad, yes. Noodle the pops. With that in mind, there's a guard patrolling outside. Let's attempt to draw a guard patrolling outside. I need to remember how to draw. Big Noodle, aka Spaghetti. I like it. Still wearing goggles indoors because no one has eyes in this. It's fine. And they're just walking along, doing their patrols, and occasionally coming up to the door and saying something to you or whatever. But all of a sudden, they get a rumbly in their tumbly. I'm fine with spaghetti, which will now, hereafter, we will refer to big bots as spaghetti, because it will make certain dramatic scenes very funny. So yes, they get a bit of a rumbly in their tumbly, and they have to rush off to the bathroom or the toilet. This happens several times. I'm not entirely sure what they're eating. But yeah, I believe this is also the same person who earlier had their uniform stolen. I think they mentioned that at some point. The one who was... Hang on, let's get a quick picture. This was probably 2... there they were. This is the person we're dealing with. So they've not had the best of luck. They've got some stomach problems and have been beaten up and had their uniform stolen. I don't know where they got their new one, but they have a new one, so that's nice. Yeah, so... You love him, poor guy, yeah. So he runs off to the bathroom. Let me just sort some stuff out because I'm not prepared. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Such a cute button. Yeah, so he runs off through the interrogation room. Hang on. Through the interrogation room. And off to the bathroom. While he's gone, you get a knock at the door. Who is the knock at the door? Nobody. There's nobody there. It's very strange. You walk up to the door, which I will now attempt to draw. Remember how to draw our protagonist, that'll be great. Worst knock knock check. Knock knock, who's there? How does one draw again? I've been drawing all day, so should be doable. That said, I haven't been drawing for the past 2 hours because I realise occasionally I have the forethought, that's the word I'm looking for, to realise that I probably shouldn't draw all day, otherwise my wrist will explode. When a cat sinks their claws into your leg repeatedly, a sign of love or an urge to murder? Knowing cats, probably both. I guess. Drawing heads from behind, it's marvelous. We rush to the door. Very small feet, don't worry about it. This is not relevant to the story. I think you're their mama. Oh. I've drawn. Yes, it happens occasionally. And suddenly, bajwing, the sound effect goes. Yes, it's none other than Dr. Uwu McWeeb, or whatever we called him. It's Uwu. Do you remember Uwu has a stealth camouflage thing that he disappears and then reappears? The Invisi Nerd, yes. So he comes along and goes, hey, how you doing? To which we say, not fantastically, all things considered. And he says, can you get me out of here? That would be grand. And he says, no, I don't really have clearance to open this door. The guard's got clearance, but I can't. I'm not a fighter. I'm not going to be able to take him out. Sorry about that. Could probably nick it from his trousers or whatever. Usually got him around his legs at any given point. Poor guy, rumbly tummy. Just remember something unfortunate thing wasn't a execution of the torture because then is not white no more. Luckily, this is monotone. So imagine what a different game it would have been if you had the camo instead. We'll get to that. So yes, you say, can you get us out of here? And he says, no, can't, don't have the key, which is perfectly fine. To which he says, to which we say, why are you here then? If you're not going to let us out, why have you come here? To which he says, I thought you might be hungry, so I brought you some food. So he brings you a tin of food and a bottle of tomato sauce, or ketchup, if you prefer. So yeah, he gives you some food, which is nice. Oh yeah, and a handkerchief. Unwisely, Noodle asks where the handkerchief has been. Fortunately, it turns out that he got the handkerchief from BLT. Because when the terrorists first came here, because this is a base in Alaska, there are lots of husky dogs doing various bits and bobs, probably security dogs and so on and so forth. The terrorists were originally going to kill all the dogs, which Uwu McNerdy Face wasn't particularly pleased with. But BLT, having an affinity with wolves and dogs and such, stopped them from killing them and looked after them. And Uwu McNerd and BLT struck up a little bit of a rapport looking after the dogs. So that's nice. And then he got the handkerchief from her. And he says, look, I know you've had a bit of an issue with the person who tried to snipe you from a distance and shot your friend in the foot, but they like dogs, so they can't be that bad, can they? Can you like not kill her, please? That would be great. So what should we say? If they're gonna shoot me with a sniper rifle, I'm gonna defend myself. Also, they scratch me in the face. No one scratches Noodle in the face. So he goes, oh, don't worry about it. I'll find out what I can to try and help you. But for now, this is what I got: some ketchup, a tin of tuna, and a handkerchief. Off you go. The only one who scratches Noodle in the face is Noodle. When he has an itch. So, yeah. And then he sort of plods off. And leaves you to your devices. Now. There are various ways we can go from here. But we'll go for the most obvious one. How does one escape from prison when the guard has irritable bowel syndrome? Well. While the guard is away. What you do while the guard is attending to their needs. Also, I don't know where you're keeping these things. Because they're not in your hand. While the guard is away, what you do is you lay on the floor. And I have to draw a body laying on the floor. Keeping a bit of an ear out. How does anatomy work again? I don't know. It's a myth. Oh, okay. Good to know. I like the way that Oobs hasn't been here for a while, and yet doesn't seem to be bothered about the fact that Noodle is wearing very little clothing. I guess that probably says more about me and my streams than it does about the game. But when all the possible things that could happen pop up in your head, you're like, you're right. Yeah. So you lay on the floor. You smother some ketchup all over the floor, like that. Speaking of which, you tie your unhelpful ribbons down to the floor to make it look like things aren't moving. You respect his and your choices. That's nice. And when Diarrhea McCute Bum comes back, he is surprised and alerted that you're on the floor and you're bleeding. Oh no! It's like, they're gonna kill me. I let the prisoner die. Oh no! He's scared. You're here to make stupid jokes and enjoy the good stream, not to question things. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the stupid jokes and all that sort of stuff. And being here. You can question as much or as little as you like. That's why ketchup and tuna. The tuna, I suppose it's just a ration, I guess. Rations are the way you heal in this game. You ask way too many questions for both of us. That's fair. Everyone has their own way of enjoying stuff, and it's nice. So yeah, he runs in, opens the door, sees the body on the floor. Oh god, what's happened? And then you get up and you punch him in the face, knock him out, and leave. Hooray! We have escaped prison. We have managed to avoid drowning. So we then leave, and if you recall, here, next to the torture equipment in the other room, is a box containing all of our stuff. So what we do is we go into this room, we grab all our stuff, we hide behind the torture device for the purposes of modesty, and then we put all our clothes on, put all our equipment away, and then off we go. We have managed to avoid drowning. So yeah, we have escaped. And what now? Well, we were going to the communications tower, so let's backtrack yet again. I should point out, if you recall from last time, we went very, very far back in the game, for the purposes of finding a sniper rifle. Do you remember how far back we went to do that? Yeah, we're in the floor above that, so we've got to go back all the way again. At least we don't have to go backwards then forwards, we're just going forwards this time, but still. There's a lot of going through the same area. Gotta pad these games out somehow. Anyway. But what I can do is I can grab from here. I can grab this. If you recall, this was an occasion where we were telephoned by a mysterious person who warned us about the mines in the snow. Thank you, Noodle, but your objective is in another castle. Make a very good couch for the amount of padding it has. Oh no, it'd be like a beanbag. Just nothing but. Actually, that's not true. There's a lot of material in there. Just all squeezed into small bits. Hero, shh. Because as you get here, you get a phone call from, you're not wearing your underwear anymore, right? Here. You get a phone call from Boom. Our mysterious admirer, our #1 fan. No, that's fine, Kira. Don't worry about it. Couldn't remember exactly where this happened, so I thought I'd do it in the same place. We've got to run through here anyway. And we get a phone call saying there's a bomb in your stuff. They hid a bomb in your things. That's why they put them out in plain sight next to the torture stuff. Throw it away. And you look at your inventory, and sure enough, there is a bomb in your stuff. And you throw it away, and it explodes immediately after you throw it away, regardless of what the timer on it says. I assume if you don't find it in time, game over, you blow up. I don't know, I've never tried. But for the purposes of this, we throw it away. So that's a fun little thing. And then we continue. Our secret admirer has saved us yet again. It's been 3 times now? Still don't know how they got our phone number, but there we are. Right, now we return to the scene of the crime. Where was the scene of the crime? It was... There's a lot of... Here. Things will... Like, actual actions will happen eventually. But, for now, exposition. Exposition, retreading, so on and so forth. You wait till we do MGS 3. So this is where poor old CC got shot. Kirosh. Thank the Void. Oh yeah, I forgot that was the name. Yeah. Is it a good boyfriend sniper? No. What it is flashbacks. Yay! So we get here. We see the spot where CC got shot, and we feel intense regret for our inactions and the fact that we didn't bother going back and getting the sniper rifle before now. And we're all sad, and it's not great. This is how sad people stand, right? It's a melancholy affair. Oh dang, another flashback. Oh, that's not the end of it. We at least have our clothes back, so that's nice. I'm confidently sad. I can't remember what his clothes look like. They look like this now. Oh yeah, no, the big boots. Oh, by the way, sorry. One thing I forgot to mention: in order to get here, obviously, here they be dogs, here there be wolves, and they like you now because you smell like somebody they like because you have the handkerchief. That's cool. Oh, a melancholy. I was trying to think when I mentioned something like a dog. Look at this sadness. I know. The little tear comes out from underneath the balaclava. Balaclava? Bandana. That's the one. Guess dogs are swayed by one tiny handkerchief now. If you smell like somebody that they know looks after them, then you'll be more nicer. If all the video was behind, so you get the breed of dog in a bin. Yeah, I don't have that luxury. I just thought I was stupid. So far, no counter evidence to that, but there we are. So yeah, here there be another stain, and this is not ketchup. And yeah, we get a bit melancholy, a bit Mango Doberman. What? And obviously our superiors. Oh yeah, we have gloves and sleeves and stuff like that. We're not bare armed, are we? Are we? It's very snowy here. I should point that out. And obviously our inaction is noticed by our superiors because we get a phone call. Not from you. From Colonel Korn saying, look, Noodle, don't beat yourself up about this. Panda. That's a different type of panda, miss. If we had bare arms. So he says, yeah, don't beat yourself up about this. Cece knew what she was doing. She wanted to be a soldier. She was prepared for this. Panda, yay. This isn't your fault. To which we say, look, we had a conversation in the bathroom. Don't judge. And she said that she wasn't prepared for this. She didn't actually want to be a soldier. She just wanted to follow in the footsteps of her father who died in battle. And she wasn't actually cut out to do this. She wasn't prepared for the consequences of what happened, and I'm the one who was responsible for the person who was not cut out for combat, and I blame myself. To which Colonel Korn says, whoops, didn't know about that. That feels a bit off. Then our phone call is interrupted by C glasses, Master Convenient Glasses. He's an awful uncle. I mean, he's busy, you know? Running things that even the president doesn't know about. Did I swear her out of it? You're a damn uncle. Yeah, I know. But if you don't know that somebody doesn't want to do something but they keep telling you they want to do it, then you're not going to know that they're not going to want to do it. Also, he's an idiot. So, the master, our previous master, person who apparently helped us out doing stuff and then was with us looking after huskies for a while, probably still would know she wasn't prepared for something like this. Probably, yeah. Don't know. Master. And he says, look, this is a very unhealthy attitude to have when you're in the middle of a life and death scenario. If you're going to go pouting about it, you're going to be off your game and you're not going to be focused on the job at hand. If you can solve this, you will be able to find a way to solve it. If not, you just need to carry on. Deal with your thoughts and emotions after you're not in a situation where people can die. They say that they still have, that she was held hostage, whether or not that's true, whether or not they were just saying that for the purposes of torture, we don't know. But that means there's a possibility. So, get on with it. And Noodle gets a bit mopey about the fact that, he had a duty of care for this person and so on and so forth. And then another person butts in, Valen. This is a long phone call, who says, so many people are calling it. It's a group chat. So it's a mental health first aid training. A lot of this story is about the psychological effects of war. It's kind of interesting. I'm not doing the script justice. It's very stupid at times, but there are actually some poignant moments in it. Anyway, Valen says, because everybody's talking about the I just mentioned how good this script is and how, in depth it can go into the psychology of warfare and how that can affect somebody's mind and irrevocably change their perception of the world. And Valen phones up and says, did you fancy her? Hey, is that why you're a bit mopey? Pretty much. That's pretty much what she says. She's trying to get you to say, did you have feelings for her? Beyond just being a soldier buddy? And Colonel Korn pops in, because they're all in this chat. We know her for 5 minutes. Yes, but this is a game from the 90s, based on films from the 80s. So, and Colonel Korn pops in and says, God, she must run in the family, eh? To which Valen says, what? And Colonel Korn says, well, your granddad used to be in the CIA, did you say? And he said, oh yeah, he used to be in the CIA. He used to, he was part of one of the old American presidents whose name escapes me at the moment. Part of the system that brought down an undercover mafia thing. And he was an interrogator. And then Glasses pops in and says, hang on, I thought you said you didn't have any family because your parents were dead. And you only had like your older brother. And Varlin goes, well, yeah, I didn't know him. He died before I found out who he was. I looked it up when I became an adult. But I know that. And Glasses says, when was this? And Varlin says, it was so-and-so year. He says, how did you get to that position? Who and how? And then he asks questions, and Varlin says, look, there's a perfectly rational explanation. Here's all my evidence. It's great. And Glasses goes, okay. And then the conversation ends. And we move on. Until he died in Zanzibar. Yes. I think if she came from a cabbage patch. I mean, she didn't know her parents, and the only relative she mentioned was a big brother who wasn't biological, so that's... I don't know how he knew that part of the conversation, but whatever. Everybody's listening into our phone calls. It's very, very, you know, you get like a VPN or something. We have time for this conversation. Did I mention Zanzibar? Yeah. Okay, so we continue our way towards the communications tower. This thing, which is where we were going to begin with. They call it the communications tower. I think it's 2 towers actually, but anywho. So we head towards it. This time we are not held at gunpoint by what were their names? It was, Kevin and Jed. They're elsewhere. They're playing cards or something. So we make our way in. We actually get somewhere this time. Hooray! And we walk in the front door, which is here. I think there's a corridor, but we'll ignore that for the moment. Yes. Walk in the front door. It's very snowy. Snow's all sort of drifting in. How do you draw snow wafting in? There's a bit of a corridor perspective, don't worry about it. And over here you see a pile of boxes, some crates and stuff. And on the floor you see and rope. Yes, and rope. Not and snack, and rope. So naturally, being the soldier that you are, you decide to steal the rope, as any good soldier is taught to do on day one. Hands, how do you work? It's fine, everyone's wearing very thick gloves. It's a good gif. Snack. Ah! And a kid snack. How to be a soldier. Lesson 1, steal and rope. Lesson 2, turn into snack. Lesson 3, become oddly attached to your people you meet 5 minutes ago. Always draw the hair backwards. This detail is very important. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Absolutely crucial. Not wasting everyone's time. Eat snack. If it's Snake Eater. Snake Eater. See, the thing is, in Snake Eater, there's a long ladder. In a moment, we're going to get our version of this. But for now, we neglect to observe. Probably some on the box as well. There's a lot of cameras, and we triggered a lot of alarms. Whoosh whoosh, alarms go off. Blah. I think in the original it's a camera, but in the remake they put just like 20 cameras in one corridor. I don't know why, but I remember that. So yeah, it was actually called a cannibal if he eats a snake in that game. Is that noodle? That's not noodle, is it? It's spaghetti. Your name in that game is Jack too. If he eats a jackfruit, then they confirm, yep, he's definitely a cannibal. I didn't know that. So yeah, it's a very special corridor. It is the entrance to the communication tower, so it's kind of important. But remember that it's kind of important. Anyway, so now that we've set off a load of alarms, a lot of people are coming to this building, and they're going to try and shoot us. Probably including Jeb and... What are the names? One of these days. Kevin. Jed and Kevin. There we go. So everyone's probably on their way. Kevin and Jed. Remember them. Remember the name. Hang on, let's see if I can find a loop of the alarm music. There needs to be a sense of urgency, which is why I'm sitting here in silence. Give me a sense of urgency. So... Might be loud. Ah, there it is. Right, so the alarms are going off and people are coming in and it's all very... Nothing more urgent than silence. It's the impulse to say something. So now, you're at the bottom of a communications tower. Everyone's coming in the front door. Where do you go? Up. That's where you go. How do you go up? Where did you come from? No. Ah, there we go. Good old Noodle Eye Joe. Oh, it's the Doctor Who bit. There it is. Can't be the only place. Anywho, point being, you take the stairs. What you do. Now there are approximately 784 flights of stairs here. Takes about 3 hours to get up. That's an exaggeration, but it feels like it. This is the second draw through we've done with a very tall flight of stairs, or sets of flights of stairs. I know the perspective of this doesn't make any sense. By the looks of it, there's 2 sets of staircases that spiral up separately. A la Anor Londo. A la Anor Londo. That's a weird sentence. Crossbeams. The crossbeams have got out of skew on the treadle. There's also doors on the way up. Occasionally just sort of like doors here. None of them work. They just beep at you when you go past. Annoying. Oh, and cameras. There's more cameras refreshing the alarm as you go up. I believe again in the remake, possibly also in the original, as you go up, I think there's like 1 camera on the wall, and then a couple of floors up there's 2 cameras on the wall, then a couple of floors up there's 3 cameras on the wall. I don't know why they did this. Why would a door and a set of beams go anywhere? I don't know. It's a communications tower. Who knows what is being communicated? Anyway, we need to run up these stairs. Whatever. How do you draw people running? What was that? Damn. Call back to the Final Fantasy one. I can't remember what I said in that one. What was it Barrett said? Or beef? They leave me to die or something like that? But this is Kevin saying that. So. Floor. 780. 9,144. Ben characters running up several sets of stairs is the most unbelievable thing about video games. Yeah, I know. It is excessive in this and Final Fantasy VII. I don't know what game we're doing next, but hopefully there aren't massive sets of stairs. We could do 8. I don't think there are any in Final Fantasy VIII. Not that I can recall. Anyway, so you run up the stairs for several billion years, and you get to the top. Hooray! And the exciting music goes away. Everything calms down. And you get onto the roof. There are guards everywhere during this too, chasing you, sometimes in front of you, lots of shooting. Many, many, many guards. Much shooting, very, very action. There's the old... I have no idea what the inside of a satellite looks like. Like a little thing like that, maybe. No. I'm gonna say, was this music just for running up the stairs? It goes up. It's a long time. So you finally get up onto the roof of the communications tower. You didn't really want to come up it. You just wanted to get through the communications tower to go behind it. But here we are. We're here now. Don't worry about it. And we do the sneaky thing, because we are here to sneak. I just knew that me drawing Noodle running up some stairs wouldn't quite get across how over the top and long that sequence of going upstairs is. So I thought I'd get some music. And all those stairs for nothing. We've got to go down the other side. Like I say, it's kind of like two towers that are connected in the top or something. Bastard! It's first stage! There it is. Okay. I mean, it's impressive that they can do that. Thank you for the gif. By the by. What is my... No. Stop. And there's another gif. Oh, let him go. Look at that obscenely open top. What characters are there? The first one was Bullet Ant, and the second one was BLT. What with the Bullet Ant having his hand cut off, and the BLT with the very open top. That's not how a leg works, is it? Don't worry about it, anyway. Then the calming music stops. Did you draw a helicopter? That's just a car, isn't it? Cannot play this game. The last couple of sequences alone are driving up the wall with just that music. I think it's probably different music for this, although knowing the game, probably not. It's an old game, you know? But I do understand. This is... Don't worry, you'll get a chance to calm down soon. But not yet, though, because... It's difficult to tell in here because everybody has fluffy hair, but for some reason you were just reminded that the first time you saw Slick during Final Fantasy was in a helicopter. It was, yes. And one of the first times that we saw Wet Noodle / Worm Lebag was getting into a helicopter. A Hind D, to be precise. Slick is better than Wet Noodle. That's fair. Oh my god, headlights. Why not? It's dark, it's nighttime. So, did I mention this was happening at nighttime? Why is this just a car with blades? Why are the blades off center? It's fine as a helicopter. It is a hind. A hindy. I'm stuck on there with sellotape. Helicopter's just a sky car. I mean, you know. Yeah, it'd be weird if you call for a taxi and then a helicopter turns up. Anyway, so you're confronted with a helicopter who immediately fires some rockets and such. How do you draw explosions? Just fire, why not? And destroys the communications tower. I'm still not entirely sure why they do that, but it's destroyed. Just showing off, I suppose. It did go kaboom. So now the connecting tower between the connecting bridge between the two towers is now broken. That's probably why they did it, actually, so you couldn't progress. So, see, I work these things out eventually. I've only played this game like 4 or 5 times. Let me grab a drink quickly. And then the catchphrase of Wet Noodle is blasted out from some sort of loudspeaker, which has also been fitted to this for reasons which escape me. His catchphrase being, "Brother!" He likes calling you brother. Brother! Found today that Gothi is a Welsh word. You don't know what it means. You know it's pronounced fish. Well, I was way off. Well, Welsh has an interesting way of interpreting letters. Like the double L's and all that sort of stuff. Brother!
Gothi.
Wait, it's even worse. So... Yes, so brother! And all that sort of stuff. And you shout, as if you could be heard over the sound of explosions and a helicopter. You know how loud helicopters are? You shout, "Why did you keep calling me brother?" To which he says, "Why don't you ask the father that you killed? I will kill you now so you can meet him in hell." I think that is actually the line. Something along those lines. It's very cheesy. In Zanzibar! You killed him! In Zanzibar! Now, you're not particularly well equipped to be fighting an attack helicopter at this point. You're really stuck on that. Everything happened in Zanzibar. It's spot on. Again, I kind of watched this recently just to get the phone call in my head. Anyway, we're getting to the point now where actual words are important. So, yes. So you don't have a reasonable way of taking down an attack helicopter, but what do you have? Can anybody remember? Box? We do have a box. We have a sniper rifle, but I doubt that's going to be helpful with a helicopter flying around and being generally a nuisance. Ladle. We have a ladle and we have a sniper. To be fair, these are all actually correct answers. These are things we do have, but you got reminded of Welsh pronunciation thing because we talked about it in class. Remember, DD is pronounced TH. That's what I say when sort of interesting combinations of letters have different pronunciation. Shoot the pilot, it's not useless. It's difficult. It was difficult enough to shoot somebody who was just standing still with a sniper rifle because you were consuming tons of marzipan to do that. Bloody helicopter flying all over the place. Firing rockets at you. Just want to add that. The glass is made of bulletproof glass made of nanobots, absolutely. So your mind was just hinth. Okay, well I will refer to it as the hinth from now on. You found a nanomachine's intensifiers. He said this is amazing music to draw to. Actually, it makes sense for it to be billowing. The point. That's what you're drawing. You're trying to draw a serene scene. My apologies. The music will stop soon. Don't worry. You're drawing a little follow-up to the sad parcel you drew, so if you get the music isn't really fitting either. Like I say, it'll be over in a sec. Yes, we used the rope! Do you remember we picked up a rope? We got caught on camera for that, so it must be important. And we rappel! down the edge of the building. It's a kind of awkward sequence. It's not great. But sure, our name isn't convenient. Convenient noodle. That's the name of the rope. We are getting blasted at by rockets, and I think there are like this being a video game. There's obviously like a pipe sticking out the side that's got like steam coming out of it. I'm gonna avoid the steam. While dodging gunfire from the helicopter. Yep. Why was that the only thing you couldn't remember? It's the last thing I said. It doesn't matter. So, we rappel down, and we find our way onto a bridge that connects the two buildings. It's not on the ground floor, we're somewhere halfway up. When Steam doesn't damage you in games, it now throws you so much. Steam is the enemy of the player. The explosive barrel is the enemy and friend. Anyway, yes, and you find your way onto a bridge. At which point the music stops. Peace. So you find yourself onto a bridge. You find yourself on a bridge that connects the two buildings. You go into the second building, which looks remarkably similar to the first building, with lots and lots of staircases. There are games where Steam doesn't damage you. I suppose just kind of like random environmental things. Don't know. Trying to think of an example. I don't play many games, to be honest. I suppose there are like thinking of something like in it's not Steam per se. But no, that's a bad example. No. Of course, there's stairs. Yes. So I'm just gonna copy that. Yeah. No cameras in this one. So now you go downstairs, because you never really wanted to go up the communication tower anyway, you wanted to go through it. Oh yeah, so there is in the middle of this, hang on. In the middle of this there is a lift shaft, an elevator shaft, and you try and call it from the top, well, from wherever you came down, a few floors from the top. So if you run downstairs you can fall. No, I don't know, don't think so. That sounds like a Metal Gear Solid 2 thing. That sounds like the sort of thing they'd introduce in that. Tiny little details that no one would notice. So yeah, there's a lift shaft and it's out of order. So you run downstairs. Nice and calm this time, no one's chasing you, it's fine. Anyway, you get to the bottom. Or near the bottom, sorry, not quite at the bottom. And oh no, would you look at that, the stairs are broken. You cannot progress. Hang on, did it just happen? Did GIF just happen and I didn't see it? That's annoying. Where's my alerts? How dare you? Nothing should have changed. You broke. There's too many GIFs. My on-screen alerts contemplated how you pronounce GIF and they exploded. Stage 7, nice little jog down the stairs. Too much Metal Gear. It was the nanobots. Yeah, no, I should have gotten an alert. I don't know what happened there. My apologies for you seemingly wasting 10,000 sparks. It was Noodle falling down the stairs. Fair enough. We're lucky more than chatting because you have a headache, but still here. If you have a headache, you feel free to turn off the stream and sit in a dark room with your eyes closed. Look after yourself. Me blathering on and playing excessively anxiety-inducing music is not necessarily going to be the best of things for you. But anyway, the stairs are out, and would you know it? You can't go down. Or put headphones in and turn off the screen. That's possible. It depends on some people react to headaches differently. Some people are sound-based, others not. Yeah, so you can't carry on down the stairs. So you're like, oh, well, this is annoying. How do I get out? So you walk back up the stairs. Not particularly far. Stairs down. Here's the lift. Very much enjoy this. You just need to hold on some pressure points for a bit. Absolutely, look after yourself. Didn't know that, now you are learned. It's brains are weird. We do not fully understand how they work, and we probably never will. Or no single person will, anyway. Because that means you'd have to fit the information of how a brain works inside a brain. It's like a computer running a 100% accurate representation of itself. So yeah, we have a lift here, which is not working because we tried. Yeah. I'm glad they have a lift. Wouldn't want to work at this facility without one. Yeah, so you get here. Let's just bring down the opacity a little bit. And then stuff happens that I have to draw. So you'll have to bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. Definitely a lift, not a test tube. Absolutely not. Your hair's been all fluffy from going outside. All the steam made it puff up. It would keep you fit. It would do something. And buff up your calves, certainly. Look at this fighting game pose. Yeah, why not? Let's go full. Whole hog. Whole hog. Calves, hogs. You don't have to talk amongst yourselves. You can do whatever you wish. As soon as you said talk amongst yourselves, your internet died. there is no reason at this particular point in time for Snake to be, or Noodle to be, clenching fists ready in a fighting position, but you know. So look at that tiny hand. Oh no, bad brain times. Oh no. And your online friends got you to watch a Red Dead Redemption 2 playthrough. What's your favourite character died? Oh no, you don't have the best of luck, do you? I mean, that said, by the feel of this, your favourite characters in this so far are Kevin and Jed. And I kind of just made them up on the fly, so they're not going to die. Yay! Toilet paper become as precious as gold for anyone else? I think I'm alright at the moment. So you with your noodle senses, you're down to your last 30 packs in work. Panic buy the bog roll. You have none. Oh dear. Thing is, it's not something that people, not likely that people who do panic buy are going to regret it, because it's not going to go off. There's a limit of 2 packs per transaction. Oh dear. So yes, you with your noodle sensors, you detect that something's there, even though you can't see anything. You should probably have worked out at this point what it is, but you know, Noodle's not the brightest noodle in the packet. Why does everyone seem to have the same hair in this game? The brightest noodle in the spaghetti pot. Then laugh, you don't have to deal with the hordes. I have absolute sympathy for people who have to deal with the nonsense that's happening right now, but from an outside perspective, it is kind of funny. Not what you have to deal with, the fact that it's happening at all. And he's like, oh, don't punch me like a training dummy in a action fighter game. And he says, this is Dr. Owo, by the way, if in case my drawing abilities have ceased to make sense. This is entirely plausible. How did I draw his hair? Not everyone has the same hair. I mean, it's not dissimilar from this, is it? Something like that. Anyway. I didn't know you quite like Flat saying, no, we have no hand-washed tin food, toilet paper, etc. Kevin and Jen are definitely good choices, considering they're not going to die unless you decide to kill them off for some ungodly reason. I don't know, we'll see. All events that host over 1,000 people need to be cancelled. But not work, yeah. Just learned that the school your brother works at is temporarily shutting down because of the virus scare. We still have toilet paper the last time you checked the store. But you don't know now, it's been 2 days. You're welcome, Kiro. I'm nothing if not the sort of person who will run a joke into the ground. How does foot work? Foot loose. Too loose. Fallen off. That center of gravity, I don't know. Oh, it's a lab coat, isn't it? So it's long and stuff. So Dr. Uwu, says, look, I came here to ask you something. And you're like, okay, cool, better be important. I am being chased by an attack helicopter. He says, do you think love can bloom on a battlefield? To which your answer is, are you serious? Of all the things you could possibly ask at this point? That's the phrase. I remember the phrase. Do you think love can bloom on a battlefield? Yeah. It says, I was just thinking that you're a soldier. You've been in this situation before. Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible to fall in love and in the heat of a... Now piss off. I mean, that's kind of Noodle's reaction. He says, if we make it through this, I'll let you know. No. But this is Noodle, yeah. I can't really remember where that line of inquiry goes at the moment. But that's basically his point. And then he says, well, there was something else I actually came to talk to you about. So I went back to my lab. Because, you know, my invisible suit, I thought, you know, you might find one useful. So I went back to my lab to grab an invisible suit. Then I went to the prison. Turns out you'd already escaped. I'm glad you liked the ketchup. Unfortunately, couldn't find any of the other suits. They must have been commandeered by the people in the coup, unfortunately. There were like 5 of them. So, yeah. If you say you love me, I'm throwing you at the chopper. And he says, well, thank you for thinking about me. Turns out I couldn't find it because they're, you know, invisible. Yeah. It's tricky, you know. Could have sworn I hung them up on the hook, but doing things by feel, you know. Like, I've got these glasses, a very strong prescription. I'm sure they're out of date at this point. You know, it's difficult enough. Finding anything, visible or not. So, yeah. To which Noodle goes, look, okay, thank you for the offer. But quick question, how did you get here? Like, I've just come from a whole... just a mess. And now I find out that the stairs are broken. How did you get here? To which Uwu says, well, I took the lift. I came up in the lift. That's what it's there for. And you say, that doesn't make sense. I tried the lift, and it's broken. Thought you never ask. Look, Chibi's not the only one who can make an AU. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he says, yeah, he took the lift. And we say, okay, so the lift wasn't working for me, but it was working for you. And go, yeah, that's how I got here. I don't really do the whole parasailing down from buildings away from attack helicopters. By the way, I saw that. That was pretty cool. Well done. You don't have the organizational skills. You don't need organizational skills. When a wee bit of wolf fall in love. Oh. That does apply to a surprisingly large section of the internet. So he says, okay, right. I've got some stuff to sort out. Noodle says this. I've got some stuff to sort out. Can you do me a favor? He says, well, I'm not a soldier. I can't do it. I'm not going to be dealing with helicopters and killing people. He says, no. You're a nerd. This is a lift. It's not working. It's electronic. Can you sort that out? Because I need to get down to the bottom of here so that I can carry on the game. And Uwu says, okay, fine. I can sort that out. Thank you for not really reassuring me about the whole love thing. No. You're a nerd. Pew. So Uwu goes off with his invisible suit to sort out the lift. and you climb back up. Yes, you climb back up. This. You go back up the tower. It's only a couple of floors. It's not too much because we kind of started at the top and went down a little bit. He's just a progenitor weeb. Yes, yeah. He chooses the code name based on literally, weeb convention. Forget this war and coup and whatever. Clearly the stairs are our worst enemy, absolutely. So you run up some more stairs. And you get to the roof. But before you get to the roof, you find another box. Where am I? You find another box, little box sitting on the stairs. That just so happens have a big old rocket launcher in it. So you're like, I'll take that. Sure. You can probably see where this is going. The plot critical sticker on the side. It's falling off, as per every sticker in the game. Yes, the Stinger missile launcher. So, we return to the roof. Oh, and it's the other side. And now you have amongst your weaponry. I think it's square. It's kind of boring, but whatever. You have a Stinger rocket launcher, which allows you to lock on your rockets before you fire them. It's a key mechanic. Don't worry about it. I don't know what rocket launchers look like. Here's a trigger. Triggers go that way, don't they? As someone who likes drawing a lot of rounded, wiggly shapes, I haven't drawn a lot of mechanical, hard-edged things today. It's made out of Lego. A couple of the bricks have fallen out. That's why it's called a stinger. When you step on one of the bricks with a bare foot. Hurts. Honestly, I don't remember because whenever you equipped it, you think you always went into scope mode. Fair enough. Tube with a handle and the doodad on top. Fair enough. And so you do the thing. I think there's some shelter on this building, so you get to hide behind some stuff as the hinth. They put a sticker on the other side as well. It's fine. This is like an air unit thing, probably. Whatever it is, it can withstand an explosion better than a satellite dish can. Yeah, and you just sort of hide behind things and you fire rockets. Praying the missile would hit. Yeah, so it's a lot of beeping to determine whether or not something's locked on. Wibbly wobbly paths. Flying around. But yeah, eventually, after a lot of shouts of "Brother! Brother!" Flying around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my noodle. So after a lot of this, you eventually shoot down, you defeat the Hinth. And it explodes and it goes down in flames to the screams of "Brother!" and off it goes. So hooray, you defeated the Hinth. After like 10 rockets. It takes a while. But you know, you were lucky enough to find a missile launcher. To assume that they were anti-attack helicopter missiles is probably a bit much. Yeah, so that's that done. Hooray! The Hinth is no more. Hooray! I'm going to have a drink briefly. And then you go downstairs. Yeah, you go downstairs. These are. Hope everyone likes stairs. Definitely burned up in the crash. Yes. Absolutely, the character who kept calling you brother and referred to the father that you killed and the leader of the terrorists has definitely died. Absolutely. So you waddle down some stairs. Don't know why I chose the verb waddle. There we are. And you, as I'm doing a lot of layers this time, and you get to the elevator, and the elevator is open. Hooray! Good old Uwu. So you go in. And you press the button and you go down to the bottom floor. Hooray, no more stairs. Everybody breathes a sigh of relief. Good job, Doctor. Yay! And then you get a phone call. Bring, bring. Oh, I have the sound, don't I? I always forget to boot this up. Doesn't particularly matter, but for the purposes of realism. Who is it? It is... Have we drawn them here? We might not have drawn them here. Hang on, just gonna look through some layers. Don't mind me. Okay, we haven't drawn them here, so let's draw them. Who is it? You'll never know. Never ever know. How do you draw your hair? After this, I'm going to look at a picture of this character and go, oh, that's how you do it. It is sort of like James May-esque. Oh, it doesn't matter. When Noodle got some new glasses, yes, that's... It's a shame it's not zoomed out slightly further. I'd make some sort of anime reference on the shirt. It is, if you hadn't... He looks like a beetle. Does Dr. Weave carry the title of SMRT? Probably. I don't see why not. I mean, he's a nuclear scientist working in a very big nuclear facility for top secret stuff, so it probably has an SMRT. He's very SMRT, absolutely. You can tell by the unkempt hair. It is a requirement of everybody who has an SMRT. Right, so he rings up and goes, "Hello, I saw you take down a helicopter. That's pretty impressive. Well done, you. Maybe he isn't officially proved to be SMRT, you don't know? Maybe. So yeah, he says, well done on the whole helicopter thing. And we say, well done on the whole fixing the lift thing. We're a good team, yay." And he goes, that's kind of why I phoned up, actually. I didn't fix it. It just kind of carried on, it started working again. Hang on. Rewind a second. Rewind. We get in the lift. It beeps at us. Fast forward. Back to the thing. Didn't even fix the elevator. Yeah, he goes, yeah, look, the weirdest thing, it just started running again. Don't know why it was broken. There was nothing in the diagnostics that said it should be broken. It shouldn't have been working. I don't know. It's in a building that's being attacked by a helicopter. Something probably went weird. And we go, okay, that's it's fine. I can get out. That's no problem. It did beep at me when I went in. Is that normal? And so Dr. Uwu says, yeah, it did that with me as well. I'm not sure what there is. There is, on these lifts, there does tend to be certain safety systems, like a weight limit. But it shouldn't have set off the weight limit. The weight limit's like 600 pounds or something. If you're not that heavy. I mean, I know you're carrying around a sock and a ladle and a rocket launcher, but you're not that heavy. To which Noodle goes, I mean, 650 pounds, that would be like, what? 5 people? Maybe? Roughly? How many of those invisible suits went missing again? To which the doctor goes, well, there were 5. I've got one, so there were 4 that went missing. At which point, our friend gets a little bit anxious. This part freaked me out. It freaked me out as well. Hang on, can I get like a screenshot of the actual face? It doesn't look scary on its own, but this is the first time you've seen anything like this in the game, and it comes out of nowhere. And the slow build up to the realization that, hang on, something's probably a bit wrong. Can I get an image? The way this is gonna go. Yeah, so that's the image we're treated to. Just comes out of nowhere, just boom, up in your face. Look up a video of it. So yeah, he freaks out. I prefer my version. What's wrong with your face? What's wrong with his face? He freaks out because he puts 2 and 2 together and goes, hang on, there's a weight limit of 600 pounds on this. 4 invisible suits have gone missing. Presumably the terrorists have taken them. You're not alone in that lift. And then we cut back to the lift. And sure enough, there are the slightly hazy forms of 4 people with guns. There's the guns. And you've got to fight them while they're invisible in a very confined space. And a voice says, "Prepare to die, Snake." Yes, prepare to die, Snake. It's a freaky sequence if you're not expecting it. It really is. I cannot do that justice, but yeah. God damn it, lift. It was never a lift after all. It was a trap. Infrared goggles help a lot here. You can pick up infrared goggles. I can't remember where you get them. We probably picked up like a spatula or something instead. So yeah. So you fight them. I think you're given like a kind of almost isometric view of this sort of lift, and there. The fill button is next to the select buttons. That's a bit, or transform. So you're just sort of in here. Sort of like a sort of camera down view. There's a gun, by the way. Just whack him with a spatula. Noodle is not impressed. I just wanted to go from A to B. I've climbed up 700 flights of stairs and down a further 287. I've rappelled on a rope that I just found in a corridor, so I could have snapped at any time. I've been tortured, had to sit next to a corpse, and now I've got to take out 4 ghosts with a spatula. This is not my day. It's been a long day. Looks so completely done. It's not over yet. Not even close, no. So yeah. You thwack people around with a spatula for a bit. You inexplicably decide not to take their stealth camouflage. And thus you continue your merry way. I should also point out that all of these 4 soldiers do have automatic machine guns, so it's not an easy fight. Because when you pull out all the mines you took and arm them and just gesture, you'll take them all down. I mean, that's one method. You don't take away their stealth camouflage? Nope, that would be sensible. Look, if you're looking for plot holes in this game, you don't have to be that picky. Yeah. No, that's later. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to sort things out in my head. He's a professional, but he's like, you know, I've come this far without it. Why bother? He's so good he doesn't need it, yeah. No stealth camo for Noodle. Yeah. I think you can get it on like New Game Plus or something. Against his honor code. Oh, the ending. Oh, okay, fair enough. Forgot about that. Yeah. So, we take down the ghosts / soldiers in invisible uniforms. Quite why their guns are invisible, I don't know, but there we are. And we leave. Finally! We finally leave this hellhole of stairs. Why would you ever do all the city special missions so you could start with the cabin? We wander out. Fence area. Into the snowy pastures. It's like a little bit of a hill. Yeah. Ramp. Some trees. Drew enough of those for after dusk. Buildings, snow, like that. Does beg the question: why couldn't you have just climbed the fence? But anyway. Noodle lives for the challenge, absolutely, yeah. Finally outside, breath of fresh air. We've got a mission to do. We need to get to past the communications tower. It seems like there's just some warehouses. We were informed at some point probably that there's an underground base somewhere around here, which is where they're keeping the Rex project. And this is where we need to head to either disarm or destroy the Rex project. There. Bless me. Now you get the idea. Anyway, I now need to borrow something from another layer. I've done a lot of copying and pasting, haven't I? Okay, let's copy that. Drag it up. Yeah. Put it on. So, yeah. This doesn't bode particularly well for a bit of breath of fresh air. Sorry, did I miss things? The guns had tiny invisibility jackets. I like that. Invisibility sheaths. Outside without missiles being fired at us by a helicopter. That is true. I don't know where the wreckage went. It's probably over here, isn't it? In the background. Burning wreckage of a helicopter. Chain link fence. I think that's a good place to end. He has such hope. But until next time. Yeah. We have been marked. We are her prey. Just want Noodle to take a nap. He needs it. Probably unlikely. Had a bit of a nap in the cell next to the corpse. Yeah, look at it. Look at that Lego gun. Cliffhanger, yeah. Love my cliffhangers. Also, I don't really have time to do to do what's coming up. But yeah. So thank you for coming to the stream. Yes. This will continue next week. Hooray. Frame Man, what are you doing? Stop that. There's nothing on screen. Why why are the frames angry when there's nothing on screen? It's a good place to end. It's nice. Almost on disc 2. For what that's worth. Disc 2 of the original, I think. I think the remake's somewhere different. It demands content. That's fair enough. Yes, so that's that for this week. I think my general recap at the beginning of next week will be stairs. You just want to be part of things. So tomorrow we begin. Nope, that doesn't quite work, does it? Didn't check that. Ori and the Blind Forest, a game that's been recommended to me by you guys that I've had for a while and wanted to play for a while. Yeah, and there are relevant stickers because tomorrow is when the sequel comes out. And I will be playing the original because I'm hot on the heels of trends like that. Look at them go. I don't know who they are. Stairs, nature's most patient predator. Absolute. Look at all the stickers. Who's that? Narrow? Narrow. Where's wide? Anyway. Thank you for coming along. We got Ori tomorrow. Hopefully I enjoy it enough to continue, because I made the assets and everything. Then on Saturday we have the actual sticker stream. There it is again, it's Narrow. Narrow. One is Ori, then Spoiler, then Big Friend. Fair enough. I'm sure we'll find out. I don't know how long the game is. I'm gonna play the... what was it called? The definitive version? What is it called? Ori and the Blind Forest... yeah, definitive edition. I think that might have some extra stuff in it, not sure. It's a bit of a Metroidvania. Oh, good, I like that. How long is a found piece of rope? Long enough to rappel down. That would have been very inconvenient if it wasn't. Sticker stream, yes. So Saturday will be for making the stickers for next month's. We'll get there eventually. For next month's Patreon, I need to look through the list of suggestions. Sunday, more Ori or Rio. Rio, the tendrils fob. And then back to this on Tuesday. So hurrah! Yeah. I look forward to playing new games that I know nothing about. Which is always nice. Yeah. Thank you for coming along. Hope you had a good time. I hope those of you with headaches and such, that it passes swiftly. Or it's about 6 hours longer than new stuff, you think. Okay, so it's not too big a deal. In terms of numbers of streams, probably like Knowing me, 4 or 5. Who knows? If you're watching the VOD and it's like 3 weeks later, you know. Again, all the emoticons come up as question marks in my thing. So it's like, Chris Artsy says, thanks? In your experience, at least you played it a while. That's fair. I tend to like trying to find lots of things. I'm not a completionist. I don't like trying to find everything, but I like to be somewhat thorough. Yeah. I'm sure we'll have a good time. Thank you for coming along. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good time. It's going to be longer than 6 hours. Yeah, you know it. Goodbye.